Hello, everyone. My name is Lisa Aguirre, and I am a Focal Point business coach. And today we're going to talk about handbooks and policies. The topics we will discuss today include the importance of employee handbooks. Why should we have one? When does your business need a handbook? And what should be included in the handbook? First, the importance of handbooks. It introduces the employees to the culture, mission, and values of the company. It helps foster a sense of pride and belonging, which studies show will help employees become more productive in a shorter period of time. It also communicates what is expected of employees and management. A well-written handbook provides employees with a clear understanding of their responsibilities. The handbook also serves as a compass for the organization's policies and procedures. For example, it advises employees what the procedures are for requesting time off or vacation. It advises employees who they should contact when they have an unscheduled absence and what the timing of that contact should be. It tells employees whom to go to if they have questions about any of the specific policies in the handbook. A company handbook clarifies company objectives and leadership styles, as well as management best practices, to foster a healthy management-employee relationship. It also outlines logistics, such as timekeeping requirements, hours of work, pay periods, and so on. Further, a complete employee handbook advises employees of their various entitlements to federal and state leaves. These policies clearly communicate information to help eliminate confusion and inconsistencies that result when handbooks are silent on these topics. A handbook also ensures key policies are clearly communicated. No policy is effective if it is practiced inconsistently. A handbook will accurately communicate your organization's policies regarding employment, conduct, and behavior, compensation, and other policies and procedures your business follows. Most importantly, managers can refer to the handbook when answering questions or making decisions regarding your policies and ensure their answers and actions are consistent with your policies and best practices. It ensures compliance with the law. No matter what state you do business in or how many employees you have, you will be subject to state and federal employment laws. Your handbook not only communicates these various entitlements and obligations to employees, but is useful in demonstrating that your organization strives to be compliant with these regulations. For example, if your employee is called away to active military service, you will want to be sure they understand their rights and obligations when communicating their need for leave to you. It also will include mandatory policies like sexual harassment and equal employment laws. In addition to ensuring compliance with the law, it will help defend against employee claims. Unfortunately, employers should consider it a matter of when and not if they will face a lawsuit or similar challenge from a current or former employee. When this happens, one of the most useful documents you can provide your attorney or any third-party investigator will be a copy of your handbook. A thorough and compliant employee handbook will help to show that the organization exercised reasonable care toward its employees and that it treated its employees fairly and consistently. The employee's signed acknowledgement page will show that the employee had an opportunity to familiarize themselves with the organization's policies, a chance to ask related questions, knew whom they could turn to for help within the organization, and agreed to follow the terms and conditions of employment set forth by the organization. And finally, an employee handbook lets employees know where to turn for help. Ultimately, you want employees to feel comfortable turning to a trusted member of management for help when they want to report workplace violations, get workplace-related assistance, and get answers to any other questions they may have. So your handbook will identify who is in charge of dispensing this information. When does your business need a handbook? Typically, the business needs a handbook when it has at least 10 employees. At this point, the business is growing It needs to consistently treat all employees the same, and it makes sense at about 10 employees to put together a standardized handbook. Another thing to keep in mind is that if 10% of your employees speak a language other than English, the handbook and any other policies must be translated into that language. If you are a smaller business and have fewer than 10 employees, some policies are still needed, and you should draft these policies and have them handed out to all employees at the time of hire. Next, we're going to talk about what should be in a handbook. And these policies listed here can apply to a smaller company with fewer than 10 employees who can draft policies similar to this and hand them out to their employees, again, as they are hired. A sexual harassment policy is critical, and in fact, it is required by law. If your business has one employee, you are subject to the laws prohibiting sexual harassment. A proprietary information and confidentiality policy is also critical in either a handbook or a standalone policy. I typically advise companies to have employees sign proprietary information and confidentiality policies as part of their offer letter, and again, have it in the handbook, which they will acknowledge receipt of. Proprietary information and confidentiality policies protect your confidential and trade secret information from disclosure and prohibit your employees from bringing that information they learned while employed at your business to their next employer. A computer and technology privacy policy is also critical. This policy ensures that your employees are aware that everything they do on your computer or company-owned technology is not private, and that the company has the right and may inspect everything that they do on their computer or other technology. Of course, you need an equal employment opportunity policy. That's very important. You need leave policies. Some leave policies are required by law, depending on the size of your organization, but others are voluntary, and you need to determine what leave policies you want to put in place based on the size of your organization. You want to include conduct that would subject an employee to immediate termination. This would include things like stealing, fighting, embezzlement, other serious conduct that informs employees they will be terminated immediately if they engage in this type of activity. Policies that are critical to the operation of your business. Depending on what business you are in, there are certain policies that are very important. Some organizations run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and so you would want policies about attendance related to that schedule. Finally, you want to include information about the benefits your organization provides. These are just some of the policies that are important to be in an employee handbook. Thank you for listening to this presentation on handbooks and policies, and if you would like any assistance in drafting your own policy or handbook, please let me know. Lisa E. Aguirre, my contact information is below. Thank you very much.